Admiral Kex Thalamar's 4 eyes watched the view screen with satisfaction. His massive insectoid frame filled the command chair as he observed the Zenthari fleet's formation outside the Centauri Nexus station. 200 crystalline dreadnoughts floated in perfect rows, their plasma cannons gleaming like jewels in the starlight. Beautiful, isn't it? He clicked to his second-in-command, through his mandibles. 5,000 years of military tradition on display. The Zenthari had ruled half the galaxy for millennia. Their crystal ships could slice through enemy hulls with focused plasma beams. Their armor could withstand the heat of a star. No force had ever broken their battle lines. On the other side of the massive space station, Fleet Commander Yira Veltan floated in her water-filled command sphere. Her blue-scaled skin rippled with pride as she watched her own fleet maneuver. The Merdai bioships looked alive because they were. Grown rather than built, each vessel could heal damage and adapt to enemy weapons during battle. "Our children are ready," she whispered to her aide through the comm system. Her voice carried the musical quality of her aquatic species. 300 living ships, each one eager to protect the collective. The Merdai had survived for 4,000 years by learning from every conflict. Their ships evolved. Their tactics grew stronger with each battle. They had never met an enemy they couldn't adapt to defeat. Both admirals had come to the Centauri Nexus for the same reason. The humans were becoming a problem. These newcomers had appeared in galactic politics only 2 centuries ago. They came from a small blue world in an unremarkable system. Their technology seemed primitive. Their ships looked simple and crude. But somehow, they kept expanding their territory. The Zenthari and Merdai had decided to work together. Today's meeting would end the human problem before it grew larger. They would divide human space between them. The primitive species would learn their place in the galaxy. "Admiral," his communications officer buzzed, "the human delegation is arriving." Kex turned all 4 eyes toward the view screen. He expected to see a small escort of basic ships. A single vessel approached the station. It was angular and gray, built from simple metal plates. No elegant curves like Zenthari crystal ships. No organic flowing lines like Merdai biovessels. Just flat surfaces welded together in basic geometric shapes. "That's it?" Kex clicked in amusement. "One ship?" His tactical officer scanned the approaching vessel. "Confirmed. Admiral. One ship. Length approximately 800 meters. Basic metal construction. Primitive fusion drive. Weak energy shields." Across the system, Yira was having a similar conversation with her crew. "The humans send one ship to face our combined fleets?" she asked, her scaled head tilting in confusion. "Do they not understand the situation?" Her sensor operator's gills fluttered nervously. "Commander, our scans show standard human technology. Nothing we haven't seen before. The ship appears to be called the UFS Perseverance." Yira smiled, showing rows of sharp teeth. "Perseverance. How fitting. They will need it." The human ship docked at the station without ceremony. No grand displays of power. No formation flying. Just a simple approach and connection to the docking port. Admiral Kex and Fleet Commander Yira met in the station's main conference room. The chamber was designed for diplomatic meetings between different species. The air was breathable for most galactic races. The gravity was set to a comfortable medium level. They waited together, confident in their superiority. Through the massive windows, they could see their combined fleets, over 500 warships representing thousands of years of military development. The door opened and 3 humans entered. General Minjun Blackstone led the group. He was older, with gray hair and calm eyes. His uniform was simple dark blue fabric with metal insignia. Nothing fancy or impressive. Behind him walked Colonel Sarah Park and Captain Lee Soo-jin, both looking professional but unremarkable. Admiral Thalamar, Fleet Commander Veltan, Blackstone said with a slight bow. Kex studied the human general with his compound eyes. No ceremonial armor. No display of wealth or power. Just a simple soldier in a basic uniform. General Blackstone, Kex clicked formally. We hope this discussion will be productive. They took their seats around the conference table. The aliens on one side, the humans on the other. Through the windows, the vast fleets waited in space. Let us speak plainly, Yira said, her voice bubbling slightly through the translation system. Humanity has expanded beyond its natural borders. This expansion must stop. Blackstone nodded slowly. We're willing to discuss territorial boundaries, but we won't accept limits that trap our people in a small corner of space. Kex's mandibles clicked with amusement. Your people? General, look outside. We have brought 500 ships representing the finest military traditions in the galaxy. You brought one crude vessel. What makes you think you can negotiate from a position of strength? Our ship might look simple, Captain Park said quietly, but appearances can be misleading. Yira's gill slits fluttered with what might have been laughter. Misleading? Child, our sensors have analyzed your vessel completely. Basic metal construction, primitive weapons, weak defenses. There are no secrets hidden in your simple design. General Blackstone remained calm. His weathered face showed no emotion as the aliens dismissed human capabilities. You're right about one thing, he said finally. We are a young species. We've only been among the stars for 2 centuries, but we've learned a great deal. In that time. Learned from your betters, perhaps, Kex clicked dismissively. But learning and mastering are different things. The Zenthari have perfected warfare over 5 millennia. The Merdai have adapted to every challenge for 4,000 years. What could a species of children teach us? Blackstone looked out at the alien fleets filling space around the station. Hundreds of advanced warships from 2 of the galaxy's greatest military powers. Then he looked back at his hosts. We've learned that the biggest mistake in warfare is underestimating your enemy, he said softly. The aliens exchanged glances. They saw no threat in this old human and his simple words. Outside, their mighty fleets dominated the star system. Inside, 3 humans sat alone and seemingly helpless. Neither Kex nor Yira realized that their greatest lesson in humility was about to begin. The negotiations continued for 3 hours, but they weren't really negotiations. They were demands. Admiral Kex spread a holographic star map across the conference table. Red zones marked Zenthari space. Blue areas showed Merdai territory. A tiny green section indicated human space. This is our proposal. Kex clicked, pointing with one of his sharp appendages. Humanity will withdraw from these 17 systems. The Zenthari will claim 9. The Merdai will take 8. General Blackstone studied the map carefully. The proposed borders would cut human space in half. Millions of human colonists would be displaced. These systems have been peacefully settled by human families for decades, he said. We have farming colonies, research stations, and industrial centers. You're asking us to abandon our people. Fleet Commander Yira's scales shimmered with amusement. Your people can relocate. Consider it a learning experience about the realities of galactic power. Colonel Park leaned forward. And if we refuse? Kex's 4 eyes focused on her with predatory intensity. Then you will learn why the Zenthari Empire has never lost a war. Through the conference room windows, the alien fleets hung in space like a demonstration of overwhelming force. Zenthari crystal ships caught the starlight and reflected it in rainbow patterns. Merdai biovessels pulsed with organic life. Let me understand this correctly, Captain Lee said slowly. You're threatening war against Earth and all human colonies because we won't surrender our territory voluntarily? Yira's musical voice carried a note of condescension. Not threatening, young one. Explaining reality. Your species is new to the galaxy. You don't understand how things work here. Then educate us, Blackstone said with dangerous calm. Kex clicked his mandibles together in what his species considered laughter. Very well. A history lesson for the children. He activated new displays on the holographic projector. Images of ancient battles filled the air between them. 5,000 years ago, the Zenthari faced the hegemony of Krell. They had twice our numbers and superior technology, but they made the mistake of challenging us to open battle. The display showed massive crystal ships tearing through enemy formations. We destroyed them completely. Their civilization is now a footnote in galactic history. More images appeared. Different battles, different enemies, all ending in Zenthari victory. The Vorth Empire thought their energy shields made them invincible. The Talar Federation believed their speed gave them an advantage. The Binary Collective trusted in their artificial intelligence networks. Kex's eyes glittered as he watched explosions and destruction on the display. All of them learned the same lesson. Zenthari plasma weapons can cut through any defense. Yira activated her own presentation. The Merdai have a different approach to warfare, she said, her voice carrying pride. We adapt. The hologram showed bioships changing shape during battle. Ships that started as one configuration transformed completely to counter enemy tactics. The Nexus Federation thought they could defeat us with their quantum torpedoes. So our ships grew thicker armor and energy absorption organs. The hive minds tried to overwhelm us with swarm tactics. Our vessels learned to split into smaller units and fight as coordinated packs. Captain Park watched the displays with interest. Impressive. How long did these wars last? The Nexus Federation fell in 6 months, Yira replied. The hive minds lasted 2 years, but only because they kept building new ships, faster than we could destroy them. Eventually, our bio-vessels learned to target their construction facilities directly. And now you're threatening the same fate for humanity, Blackstone said. Not threatening, Kex corrected. Offering education. Learn from the experiences of your betters. Accept the natural order of galactic civilization. Colonel Park pulled up human exploration records on a small tablet. According to our surveys, both of your species control territories that were previously inhabited by other civilizations. What happened to the original inhabitants? The question hung in the air. Both alien admirals went silent. They learned to serve their betters, Yira finally answered. Or they chose not to learn at all. Oh, I see. Blackstone's voice remained calm, but something cold entered his eyes. And you consider humanity ready for this same education? Kex gestured toward the window. General, your entire fleet consists of one primitive vessel. We have brought 500 ships, representing the pinnacle of galactic military technology. Your options are simple. Accept our generous territorial adjustments, or face the consequences of defying 2 of the galaxy's greatest powers. Generous? Captain Lee asked. You're demanding we abandon half our colonies. You're keeping the other half. Yira pointed out. Under our protection, of course. Your people will learn to appreciate the benefits of proper guidance. Blackstone stood and walked to the window. The UFS Perseverance looked tiny compared to the alien dreadnoughts surrounding it. A single human ship facing hundreds of enemy vessels. You mentioned that our ship looks primitive, he said, without turning around. Because it is. Kex clicked confidently. Our sensors have analyzed every component. Basic fusion drive, simple metal hull, outdated weapon systems. Your engineers show promise, but they're centuries behind our technology. The design is certainly simple. Yira agreed. Functional, but crude. Like most human engineering we've observed. Blackstone nodded slowly. You're absolutely right. It does look simple. He turned back to face the aliens. Something in his expression made both admirals pay closer attention. There's something you should know about human engineering, he said quietly. We've learned that the most dangerous weapons often look harmless. Colonel Park checked her chronometer. General, We've been here almost 4 hours. Shouldn't we check in with the fleet? You mean your ship? Kex corrected with amusement. Yes, Blackstone said. Our ship. He activated his communicator. General Blackstone to UFS Perseverance. Status report. All systems nominal, General, came the reply. Standing by for your orders. Very good. Please inform Admiral Chen that we may need to implement Protocol 7. There was a brief pause. Understood, General. Admiral Chen sends her compliments and asks if you require immediate assistance. Not yet, but please have the fleet stand ready. Kex's mandibles clicked with confused amusement. Fleet? General. You have one ship. Blackstone looked directly at the alien admiral. Do we? The simple question carried implications that both aliens found disturbing. They had conducted detailed sensor sweeps. They had verified that only one human vessel had arrived. Their technology was superior to anything humanity possessed. So why did General Blackstone sound so confident? Admiral Kex felt a chill run through his exoskeleton. General Blackstone's confidence didn't make sense. The sensor reports were clear. Only one human ship had arrived at the Centauri Nexus. Found on Atlic side. I'm center. General. Kex clicked carefully. Our instruments have detected no other human vessels in this system. Are you suggesting our technology is flawed? Blackstone walked back to the conference table, but remained standing. Your technology is excellent. Some of the best we've ever encountered. But every system has weaknesses, if you understand how it works. Fleet Commander Yira's gills fluttered nervously. Explain what you mean. In a moment, Blackstone said. He opened a communication channel again. General Blackstone to all human vessels. You are cleared for Protocol 7. Repeat. Protocol 7 is authorized. Kex's 4 eyes darted between the human general and the view screen showing empty space. There are no other human vessels. Check your sensors again, Captain Park suggested quietly. Both alien commanders immediately contacted their respective fleets. Urgent reports came back within seconds. Admiral. Kex's tactical officer buzzed over the comm. We're detecting energy distortions near the human ship. Something is interfering with our scans. Yira received a similar report. Commander, our biosensors are picking up massive gravitational anomalies. The space around the station is changing. Through the conference room windows, they could see space beginning to shimmer like heat waves. The distortion spread outward from the UFS, Perseverance, in expanding rings. What are you doing? Yira demanded. Showing you something, Blackstone replied. Something we hoped we wouldn't need to reveal. The first ship materialized directly above the space station. It was enormous. Larger than any vessel either alien species had ever built. The angular design was similar to the Perseverance, but scaled up to impossible proportions. Dark gray metal plates formed a hull that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. Kex's mandibles clicked in shock. How? Where did that come from? We've been working on stealth technology, Colonel Park explained. Turns out humans are pretty good at hiding things. A second massive ship appeared to starboard of the station. Then a third. A fourth. Each one materialized from apparent empty space as their cloaking systems deactivated. Impossible, Yira whispered. Our sensors would have detected them. Your sensors detect what they're designed to detect, Captain Lee said. Energy signatures? Gravitational disturbances? Electromagnetic emissions? But what if a ship produces none of those things? More human vessels continued appearing. Not just the massive dreadnoughts, but smaller ships too. Cruisers, destroyers, and frigates materialized in perfect formation around the space station. Admiral Kex counted frantically. 20, 30, 40 ships. His voice rose to a panicked buzz. Where did they all come from? We've been here the whole time, Blackstone said simply. The alien fleets were in chaos. Emergency signals flashed between ships as commanders tried to understand what was happening. Sensors that had shown empty space now revealed a human fleet that matched their combined numbers. Even more concerning, Yira said, studying her tactical displays, is the energy readings we're getting. These ships are massive. The largest human dreadnought was 3 times the size of the biggest Zenthari crystal ship. Its hull bristled with weapon ports that remained closed but clearly visible. Each gun mount looked large enough to house weapons that dwarfed anything in the alien fleets. The UFS Retribution, Blackstone said, noticing their stares. Our newest deep space combat vessel. She and her sister ships represent humanity's latest achievements in defensive technology. Defensive? Kex clicked incredulously. Those are warships. Yes, Blackstone agreed. Built to defend human space and human people. Something we've had to learn to do very well. Captain Park activated a holographic display. Earth's history is full of conflicts. Wars between nations, between ideologies, between different ways of life. We've had thousands of years to perfect the art of warfare. But you're a young species. Yira protested. You've only been in space for 2 centuries. Young in space, Colonel Park corrected. Ancient in war. We brought all our accumulated knowledge with us when we reached the stars. The tactical situation had completely reversed. Minutes ago, the aliens had possessed overwhelming numerical superiority. Now, they faced an equally large human fleet that had appeared from nowhere. Your cloaking technology, Kex demanded. How does it work? Trade secret, Blackstone said with a slight smile. But I can tell you it's based on principles your scientists haven't discovered yet. We're very good at making things invisible. More disturbing reports reached the alien commanders. The human ships weren't just hidden from sensors. They were positioned perfectly to attack both alien fleets simultaneously. Every human vessel had clear firing solutions on multiple targets. You've been planning this, Yira accused. We've been preparing for it, Blackstone corrected. There's a difference. We hoped you would choose cooperation, but we prepared for the alternative. Kex studied the tactical display with growing horror. The human fleet wasn't just large. It was positioned with mathematical precision. Every ship covered specific zones of fire. Every weapon angle was optimized. It was a formation that spoke of advanced tactical planning and superior coordination. How long have you been watching us? He asked. Long enough to learn your fleet tactics, Captain Lee replied. Long enough to study your ship designs. Long enough to understand your military doctrine. The Zenthari have never been defeated, Kex said desperately. The Zenthari have never fought humans. Blackstone replied. Through the view screen, they could see the human dreadnoughts beginning to move. Slowly, precisely, they repositioned themselves. The movement was subtle, but unmistakable. The human fleet was surrounding both alien forces. This is a defensive formation, Yira observed, her tactical training recognizing the pattern. Yes, Blackstone confirmed. We're not here to attack anyone. We're here to protect ourselves. But you could attack, Kex said, understanding the implication. If we had to. The simple statement carried enormous weight. The aliens had come here expecting to intimidate a primitive species with their superior numbers. Instead, they found themselves facing a force that had been watching them all along. What do you want? Yira asked finally. The same thing we wanted when we arrived, Blackstone said. A peaceful resolution. Fair borders. Mutual respect. And if we refuse? Blackstone looked out at the combined fleets facing each other across the void of space. Hundreds of ships from 3 different species. All armed and ready for battle. Then you'll learn why humanity has survived so long in a dangerous universe, he said quietly. We don't start fights, but we always finish them. The standoff continued for several tense minutes. 3 fleets hung in space around the Centauri Nexus station. Weapons charged but not yet firing. The balance of power had shifted completely. Admiral Kex activated his command communications. All Zenthari vessels. Charge plasma batteries to full power. Prepare for possible combat. 2. Fleet Commander Yira gave similar orders. All bioships. Begin combat adaptation. Prepare for threat response. And, through the conference room windows, they could see the alien fleets responding. Zenthari crystal ships began to glow as their plasma weapons reached full charge. Merdai biovessels started to change shape, growing additional armor and extending weapon appendages. General Blackstone watched calmly. "Are you sure you want to do this?" "Your ships are impressive," Kex admitted, "but you're still outnumbered. Our combined fleets have over 500 vessels. You have fewer than 50. "Do we?" Captain Park asked. Before either alien could respond, space around the station began to shimmer again. More human ships started appearing. Dozens of them, then hundreds. "Impossible," Yira whispered, watching her tactical display fill with new contacts. "Where are they coming from?" "We've had a long time to perfect our hiding techniques," Colonel Park explained. "Humans are very good at concealment. When we need to be." The human fleet continued to grow. Ships materialized in empty space, behind asteroids, even within the sensor shadows of alien vessels. Each new arrival was positioned with perfect, tactical precision. Admiral Kex's voice rose to a panicked buzz. "Our sensors show nothing. How are you hiding entire fleets?" "Advanced metamaterials," Captain Lee said. "Gravitational field manipulation. Quantum signature masking. We've learned to bend the laws of physics in ways your scientists haven't imagined." The final count was staggering. Over 800 human vessels now surrounded the alien fleets. The hunters had become the hunted. "This is impossible," Kex clicked frantically. "No species can hide fleets this large." "Humans can," Blackstone said simply. "We've had to learn. Our home galaxy taught us that the universe is a dangerous place." Yira studied the tactical display with growing fear. The human ships weren't randomly placed. They formed perfect geometric patterns that would allow devastating crossfire against any target. It was a formation that required mathematical precision and flawless coordination. "How long have you been planning this?" she asked. "We started preparing the moment we learned about your alliance," Blackstone replied. "Human intelligence networks are quite extensive. But you said you wanted peace. We do want peace. That's why we're demonstrating our capabilities instead of simply attacking. If we wanted war, this conversation would never have happened." Admiral Kex activated his tactical systems. "Zenthari fleet, target the nearest human dreadnought. We'll show them the power of crystal plasma weapons." "I wouldn't recommend that," Colonel Park said quietly. "Why not?" "Because you don't understand what you're facing." Blackstone activated his communicator. "General Blackstone to UFS Retribution. Please prepare a demonstration for our guests. Non-lethal target only." "Understood, General," came the reply. "Target selected. Single weapon system only. Minimal power setting." Through the view screen, they watched the massive human dreadnought slowly rotate. Weapon ports opened along its hull, like the eyes of a sleeping giant awakening. One particular turret, larger than most entire alien ships, began to track toward an empty section of space. "What are you targeting?" Yira asked nervously. "There's an asteroid field approximately 1 light-minute away," Captain Lee explained. "Nothing valuable. No inhabited worlds. Just rocks floating in space." The human weapon fired. There was no visible beam, no bright energy blast, just a slight distortion in space itself, like looking through water. The distortion raced outward from the human ship at the speed of light. For a moment, nothing seemed to happen. Then, the asteroid field simply disappeared. Not exploded, not shattered, disappeared, Where there had been billions of tons of rock and metal, there was now empty space. The only sign that anything had been there was a faint glow where matter had been converted directly to energy. Both alien fleets went silent. "What was that?" Kex whispered. "Focused gravitational manipulation," Blackstone explained. "We compress space-time until matter can no longer maintain cohesion. Complete molecular disintegration." Yira's gills fluttered in terror. "You destroyed an entire asteroid field with one shot. At 30% power," Captain Park added. "From one weapon. On one ship." The implications hit both alien commanders simultaneously. Their shields, their armor, their most advanced defensive systems were designed to stop energy weapons and physical projectiles. They had no protection against weapons that attacked the fundamental structure of reality itself. "How many of your ships carry these weapons?" Kex asked faintly. "All of them," Blackstone said. "Though the larger ships carry multiple systems. The Retribution has 12 gravitational compression arrays, plus conventional weapons for smaller targets." Admiral Kex ran rapid calculations in his head. 800 human ships. Multiple weapons per ship. Each weapon capable of destroying anything in a single shot. His proud Zenthari fleet might last 30 seconds in actual combat. "This changes nothing," he said desperately. "We still outnumber you." "Do you?" Colonel Park asked. More reports flooded in from both alien fleets. Human ships were appearing throughout Zenthari and Merdai space. Not attacking, just there. Visible now that they had chosen to reveal themselves. "We have ships near every major world in your territories," Blackstone explained. "We've been there for months, watching, learning, protecting you from threats you never knew existed." "Protecting us?" Yira demanded. Captain Lee activated a series of holographic displays. 3 weeks ago, a rogue asteroid was heading for your colony world of Merdal Prime. You never detected it because it was cloaked by an ancient automated defense system. One of our ships diverted it." More images appeared. 2 months ago, the Zenthari mining station at Kepler 7 came under attack by automated war machines left over from the hegemony of Krell. Your people thought it was equipment failure. Our engineers neutralized the threat and made it look like a systems malfunction. The displays continued, showing incident after incident. Human ships secretly intervening to protect both alien civilizations from dangers they never knew existed. "You've been protecting us," Kex said slowly. "We protect everyone we can," Blackstone replied. "It's what humans do. We don't conquer. We don't enslave. We protect." "But you could conquer us," Yira said, understanding the true scope of human power. "Yes, easily. But what would be the point? We'd rather have allies than subjects. We'd rather have friends than slaves." The revelation was staggering. Humanity possessed overwhelming military superiority, but chose to use it defensively. They had the power to rule the galaxy, but preferred to protect it instead. "What do you want from us?" Admiral Kex asked finally. "Partnership," Blackstone said. "Mutual respect. Fair borders. And maybe, if you're willing, cooperation against the real threats that are coming." "What real threats?" General Blackstone looked out at the 3 fleets surrounding the station. "Our deep space monitoring stations have detected signals from beyond the galactic rim. Something is coming toward our galaxy. Something that makes our territorial disputes seem very small and unimportant. And you think we should work together against this threat? I think the galaxy will need all of its civilizations working together if we're going to survive what's coming." The conference room fell silent. Admiral Kex and Fleet Commander Yira stared at the tactical displays, showing the true extent of human military power. 800 ships that had been invisible until moments ago. Weapons that could disintegrate matter itself. A species that could have conquered them, but chose protection instead. "You said something is coming from beyond the galaxy," Yira said finally. "What kind of threat?" General Blackstone activated a new holographic display. It showed the galaxy from above, with various colored zones marking different territorial boundaries. At the very edge, beyond the rim of known space, red indicators pulsed ominously. Our long-range sensors detected the signatures 18 months ago, he explained. Massive energy sources moving toward our galaxy at near light speed. Whatever they are, they're artificial and extremely advanced. Captain Park added more details. The energy signatures don't match any known technology. They're using propulsion methods we can't identify. And they're coming from a direction where we know no intelligent life exists. Admiral Kex studied the display with his 4 eyes. His military training helped him understand the implications. How many contacts? At least 50 major signatures, Colonel Lee replied. Each one larger than our biggest dreadnoughts. And that's just what we can detect at this distance. When will they arrive? Yira asked. Best estimates put them at the galactic rim in approximately 2 years, Blackstone said. If they maintain current speed and course. The alien commanders exchanged glances. Both species had faced external threats before, but never something from beyond the galaxy itself. Why are you telling us this? Kex asked. You could handle this threat yourself. Your ships are more powerful than ours. Maybe, Blackstone admitted, but we don't know enough about what we're facing. More importantly, this galaxy belongs to all of us. We shouldn't have to defend it alone. Yira floated silently in her water sphere for several moments. You're asking us to trust you. After demonstrating that you could destroy our fleets without effort. Trust has to start somewhere, Captain Park said. We chose to reveal our capabilities instead of using them. That should count for something. Admiral Kex clicked his mandibles thoughtfully. The Zenthari Empire has never served under alien command. We're not asking you to serve under us, Blackstone clarified. We're asking you to serve alongside us. Equal partners, facing a common threat. What would this partnership look like? Colonel Lee activated new displays, showing proposed fleet formations and combined tactical doctrines. Zenthari crystal ships excel at long-range energy projection. Merdai biovessels provide adaptability and tactical flexibility. Human ships bring stealth capabilities and heavy firepower. Together, we could create combined fleet tactics that use each species' strengths. The plans were detailed and well thought out. Human military planners had clearly studied both alien civilizations extensively. They knew exactly how Zenthari and Merdai forces could best be integrated with human tactics. You've been planning this for some time, Yira observed. We've been hoping for this for some time, Blackstone corrected. Planning would have required certainty that you'd agree. We were never certain. Admiral Kex reviewed the tactical proposals. Despite his pride, he had to admit the plans made sense. Human stealth technology could hide his crystal ships until they were in optimal firing positions. Merdai adaptation abilities could counter unknown enemy tactics. Human gravitational weapons could eliminate targets that conventional weapons couldn't touch. What about territorial disputes? He asked. Our original disagreements about borders? We propose a joint commission to review all territorial claims, Captain Park suggested. Representatives from all 3 species working together to find fair solutions. With the external threat coming, border disputes seem less important than mutual survival. Yira activated her own communication system. All Merdai vessels stand down from combat readiness. Return to standard patrol formation. Admiral Kex hesitated for a moment, then gave similar orders. All Zenthari ships, power down weapons. Maintain defensive posture only. Around the space station, the massive fleets began to relax their battle formations. Weapons powered down. Shields lowered to standard levels. The immediate threat of violence faded. There's something else, Blackstone said. Something we haven't told you yet. Both alien commanders tensed. After all the revelations, they weren't sure they could handle more surprises. "We've been monitoring communications from the approaching contacts," Captain Lee explained. "We can't translate their language yet, but we've detected repeated signal patterns. They appear to be coordinating their approach." "Coordinating how?" Kex asked. "They're not just randomly heading toward our galaxy," Yura realized. "They're planning something specific." "Exactly. And some of their signals reference locations within our galaxy, specific star systems. They have intelligence about us." The implications were terrifying. An unknown force from beyond the galaxy was approaching with detailed knowledge of galactic civilization. It suggested preparation, planning, and possibly hostile intent. "How do they know about us?" Yura asked. "That's what we need to find out," Blackstone replied. "And that's why we need to work together. None of our civilizations have the resources to investigate this alone." Admiral Kex made a decision that would have seemed impossible hours earlier. The Zenthari Empire agrees to the proposed alliance, temporarily, to face this external threat. "The Merdai Collective also agrees," Yura added. "But we want equal representation in all command decisions." "End one." "Agreed," Blackstone said immediately. "Joint command structure. Equal voice for all three species." They spent the next several hours working out details. Communication protocols, fleet coordination procedures, intelligence sharing agreements. By the time they finished, the framework for an unprecedented alliance was in place. "There's one more thing," Colonel Park said as they prepared to conclude the meeting. "We'd like to invite representatives from both your species to visit Earth, to see human space, to understand who we really are. And we'd like to visit your homeworlds," Captain Lee added, "to learn about your cultures, to build real trust between our peoples." Admiral Kex clicked his mandibles in what might have been amusement. "6 hours ago, we came here planning to divide your territory between us. Now, we're planning to fight alongside you, against an unknown enemy. That's what humans call diplomacy," Blackstone said with a slight smile. Through the conference room windows, they could see the three fleets beginning to form new arrangements. Human ships moved to positions that complemented alien formations instead of threatening them. Zenthari crystal ships and Merdai biovessels adjusted their own positions to integrate with human tactics. "When do we begin joint operations?" Yura asked. "Immediately," Blackstone replied. "We'll start with joint patrols near the galactic rim, mixed crews on some ships so we can learn each other's methods, combined training exercises to develop coordinated tactics. And if this external threat proves hostile?" General Blackstone looked out at the combined fleet that now filled space around the station. Hundreds of ships from 3 civilizations, no longer facing each other in hostility but preparing to stand together against whatever was coming. "Then the galaxy will learn what it means to face the combined might of free civilizations working together," he said. "And whatever is coming from beyond the rim will discover that this galaxy is protected by more than just individual species. It's protected by allies who chose cooperation over conquest." The meeting ended with handshakes, ceremonial gestures of respect, and the first steps toward an alliance that none of them had imagined possible when they arrived. The human warships that had caused such terror now flew in formation with their former enemies, preparing for a greater threat that would test all of their civilizations. In the end, the terror had transformed into hope, and the galaxy would never be the same.